afternoon and welcome to the Energy Spectrum Show. Happy holidays, and we are back from the break. Today we look at a very important and a strong topic, one that sits in the heart of many Ghanaians, especially when it comes to power reliability, household costs, and national and continental energy planning. We are looking at appliance standard and labeling in Ghana, the role of energy efficiency. Now, so to help us discuss this topic, we have a guest who is joining us online. He is currently the manager for energy regulations at the Ghana Energy Commission, a prominent Ghanaian energy expert for that matter, and a dedicated advocate for sustainability and energy. He has contributed in so many ways in the aspect of energy efficiency. He was part of the regulatory enforcement that led to the ban of inefficient cooling appliances and promotes the meet into brackets most economically advantageous tender model for prioritized long-term savings in public procurement. He also played a key role in the Eco Fridge Go initiative, a green credit scheme helping workers afford energy efficient appliances via payroll deductions. This and many more has he contributed to the Ghana energy sector. He holds a double master's from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, one in Energy and Sustainability Management and Strategic Management and Leadership. His name is Hubert Zahn. Thank you very much, Hubert, for joining us on the show. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Akwesi, and I'm very humble for this introduction. So I would say good afternoon to you, and
Yes.
Good afternoon to your viewers and listeners as well.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon as well. Tell us, you were recently crowned the Rising Star Individual Award at the 9th Ghana Energy Awards. You have risen to become part of the stars in the energy constellation, if I should put it that way. How does that feel?
Okay, so I basically will say it feels exciting, but one thing I have learned is that in your very small corner, regardless of what you are doing, people are always watching.
Yes.
You know, we say bad news sells, but I think good works also are recognized at a point in time in your life. You know, so last year we're in 2026. So last 2 years I was nominated in 2 categories: Energy Advocate of the Year and then Rising Star. Unfortunately, I did not make it to the top. And then in 2025, I was repeated in the same 2 categories. So it only told me that consistency was playing a role for them to acknowledge that I've been nominated for the 2 categories as well.
Yes.
And God being so good, when it happened that way, my story was that I was quite devastated. So my dad told me that, young man, you need to be consistent. It's not every time that you are nominated for the first time that you will get it.
Exactly.
Just keep on doing your work, and at the right time, glory will come.
Shine.
Unfortunately, I lost him on the 1st of January 2025. And then in December, I got this award. So I dedicate it to him, to my organization, the Energy Commission, and my colleagues, and of course, to my family, my wife, and daughters.
That's awesome. Sorry for your loss, for losing your dad. It's not easy. I mean, yes, but life goes on.
Exactly. We can only make them proud wherever they are.
Yes. All right, moving on to the topic, appliance standard and labeling in Ghana, the role of energy efficiency. What are appliance standard and labeling?
Right. So I think for purpose of our viewers and listeners,
Yes.
we need to start with the basics, because sometimes when you go too much into the technicalities,
Yes.
it makes it very difficult for people to appreciate.
Yes.
So first of all, we start with the standards. What are standards at all?
Okay.
These are benchmarks that are set internationally to be able to make sure that products that are produced are measured and can be verified and are also reliable in terms of information of performance.
Great.
And so when you send your son or your daughter to the market to buy an olunka of rice or gari,
yes,
which of the olunka are they going to use? Because in the Ghanaian parlance, you have what we call olunka dimija,
yes,
olunka malamata, olunka spintex,
yes,
olunka ujaso. So which of these olunkas is the boy going to come back with as a form of measurement of one bowl of rice?
yes.
So measurement is very critical, and we need to have it uniformly made. And
Great.
that is why the Ghana Standards Authority, mandated by law, are supposed to come up with the relevant standards based on products.
Yes.
So what the Energy Commission did was to partner with Ghana Standards Authority to develop the standards for the various appliances we intended to regulate. And the standards are usually in ISO and IEC standards. Okay. So these are all international standards that are used.
Yes.
And to mean products that are going into the European market, the American market, it is the standards that is applicable.
Yes.
So you hear our Ghanaians say that, oh, the items coming from Europe is more durable than the products here in Ghana. It is because the Europeans, when the importers go to purchase the items, they go with standards.
Yes.
The one thing we must all remember is that when you talk about inferior goods in Ghana, or you mention China, then that is what we relate.
Yes.
We think Chinese goods are inferior or substandard.
Yes.
But the Chinese are the same people who manufacture for Europe and the US.
Yes.
The only difference is the standards we keep on talking about.
Exactly.
So the businessman in Europe will go with the standards and say, this is what is needed to come into UK, into Netherlands, into wherever. And so we didn't have that in our country. So it made it difficult for people to travel and then bring all kinds of products.
Yes.
Second-hand products, used products, even brand new products which are substandard.
Substandard, yes.
And of course, we need to agree. The fact that something is new does not mean it's also durable.
Exactly.
Because you can have a new one which is substandard, or the quality is not of good use.
Yes.
And it is the standards that is supposed to come and separate all of this and make sure that we have uniformity in the products that are coming in. So just to explain, that is what the whole concept of the standards is.
Wow.
Now, when you add the labeling is now to give a certain value to the products. And the labeling is supposed to guide consumers to make an informed decision of the standards that have been developed.
Great. That's awesome. Right. So moving on, can you give us a brief history about the journey? Ghana's journey in standards and labeling, appliance standards and labeling.
Yes, so rightly so. Having given this background, it's important to note that Ghana did not just reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
So like I said, these standards have been developed all over the world, except that we were not proactive.
Exactly.
So in 2005, Ghana came up with its first standards and labeling regulation, which was air conditions and then CFLs, what we call compact fluorescent lamps.
Great.
Now, if you remember, you see these yellow labels on fridges and air conditions.
Yes.
That is the law that we are talking about. So it was that law that mandated that we label air conditioners.
Great.
And then lamps that were coming into the country.
Yes.
And this was in 2005. Then we followed up in 2008 with the prohibition, the ban on the importation of second-hand refrigerators, freezers, air conditioners, and then incandescent bulbs. You remember the onion bulbs we used to have, yellow color?
Yes.
That was the law, LI 1932, which was
Yes.
passed in 2008, was the law that banned the importation of these products.
Great.
Then we followed up in 2009 with the regulation for refrigerators. And the idea was that we looked at the household, which appliances were consuming so much and yet running over long hours.
Yes.
Okay, see, I'm sure if I ask you when was the last time you put off your fridge, it will be difficult for you to remember.
Very difficult, yes, very difficult.
Exactly. So we chose the refrigerator not because it was the high consuming appliance in the household, but because of the number of hours it was running.
Yes.
Even though it was consuming
higher. Yes.
And so that was how come we settled on refrigerators. Air conditioners were for offices because a lot of offices were running on air conditioners, and we needed to make sure that the performance of these products were right. And then for lighting, homes and offices were both using lighting devices. So we needed to move away from the incandescent to these kind of three appliances that I mentioned. So that was what we did. And we needed time to understand the implication of these regulations on the citizens. Because Ghana was predominantly a market of used appliances.
Great.
So if you see the graph that we'll be sharing, you see that from 2005 up to, let's say, 2012, Ghana was predominantly importing second-hand products, refrigerators into the country. And so when the law was passed, we decided to enforce it in 2008. And it's important for people to understand this because we keep on hearing that, Energy Commission, you have banned second-hand fridges, but we are seeing them in the market. So this is the genesis. In 2008, when we decided to enforce the law, or when it was passed, it was an election year. And you know what it means to pass a law in an election year. So the government then advised that let's give a moratorium because this is people's livelihood. This is people's business you are going to shut down. You need to give them some time to be able to run up their business. And so a 2-year moratorium was given to the importers to be able to run up their business. In 2010, which was 2 years from 2008, there was a change in government. And we jokingly say that, when it happens that way, then the concadees, which is the importers, will go on arms again to the new government and say, the predecessor gave us 2 years. You have taken mantle. You need to do something for the boys. And it was quite difficult because at that time, we needed to take a decision. But our late president, John Evans Mills, also thought it wise that, well, I have taken power, but there's a need for us to also help these consumers or importers run up their business. So they advised that another 2 years be given to the importers. Now, when you look at the graph that we have shared, when we increased the moratorium, the importation increased. Instead of being the reverse, because we're giving you a moratorium to run up your business, not to bring in more products. So in 2010, when we gave the 2 years, we went into 2012. And 2012 was another election year. And then we had a new president then, John Mahama. So it was difficult, So John Mahama said, look, you know what? We are committed to international treaties. And so we cannot keep on extending this law. The best we can do is, how do we assess? And these importers said, the products are already in the country. Help us clear them. That is what we want. So we made them go to court to sign an affidavit that we were going to give them 6 months to be able to run up their business so that enforcement could be carried out. And once we did that, what it meant was that the importers could no more come back asking for extension. So basically, for you to understand that a law that was passed in 2008, it has to take us up to 2012, entering into 2013, before we started enforcement. And as you see from the graph, when we started, the numbers started depreciating in terms of imports. And then the standards and labeling that was introduced meant that the new imports started increasing by the graph that we have shown. So that is basically the background in terms of what we have done. And when we saw that transformation, we made a solid point to Parliament in 2022 on the need for us to expand the scope.
Great.
Because if Ghana was able to enforce just these 3 appliances, and yet this is the kind of savings we were able to make.
Great.
Okay, which was about a total of 3,624 gigawatts.
Great.
Enforcing just refrigerators.
Just refrigerators.
Then when we add other appliances into the scope, there's a tendency for us to make sure that we are saving the country a lot in terms of the wastage of electricity that was being produced. You know, so in 2012 we added 19 more appliances. So the yellow label you see on fridges and air conditioning has now increased. You will start seeing them on microwave ovens, water heaters, you know, clothes washing machines, televisions, computers, rice cookers, you know, comfort fans. And the comfort fan is made up of ceiling fan, wall fan, and then standing fan. Then we also revised the refrigerator and air conditioning regulation, because remember that we passed this in 2009 and 2005 for fridges and air conditioning respectively. And technology keeps on changing.
Great.
So there's a need for us to make sure that we are catching up with technology. Because in 2005, when we passed that law, there was no inverter air conditioning then.
Exactly.
But now there is inverter technology. So we have revised the air conditioning law to cater for this as well. We have added distribution transformer, electric motors, you know, solar set-top boxes or decoders. And then we have added the renewable energy aspect.
Great.
Solar panels, inverters, and batteries have now been included.
Great.
And we want to make sure that people are not getting bad experience, even with renewables that we are promoting. Because remember, we said that the fact that something is new does not mean it's durable.
Exactly.
So people are bringing all kinds of solar panels which are substandard, and that is why we have included this in it. So that is where we are now. As of 2022, the scope has increased to about 22 regulations under appliance standards and labels.
Great. Fantastic one there. So moving on, if an importer wants to acquire these labeling and getting an appliance certified, what is the procedure to go through?
Okay, so the Energy Commission, which is backed by an Act of Parliament, Act 541, is mandated to make sure that the energy resources are used judiciously.
Great.
And as I said, that is why we looked at energy efficiency. And the issues about energy efficiency basically concerns about wastage. And I want to give a little analogy so that our listeners can really appreciate what we mean by it. You know, it's just like the water hose analogy. If I plug my water hose to a tap and I'm watering my flowers, you realize that the pressure on the water hose will be very high. But assuming somebody punches a hole in the water hose, what do you think will happen to the pressure?
The pressure will reduce.
Exactly, accuracy. So once the pressure reduces, it means that there is leakage somewhere. And that is the same concept we want to take into electricity. Because the problem is that for water, it's tangible. We can see the wastage. When your child opens the tap and it's flowing and they leave it running, you see that we shout on them and say, hey, go and put off the tap. But we don't say the same for electricity. Because we don't see the wastage. So when you connect power into your home and you are wasting it, it means that what you are doing is the hole you have punched in the grid. And what it means is that the users on the other end of the grid will now start having what we call low current or brownout. It means they will start having low voltages in terms of the product. So what we did was to make sure that importers who are bringing these products into the country, and Ghana, over 90% of our products are imported. So we require that an importer who wants to bring in these items I've mentioned, these 22 items, refrigerators, air conditioners, television, must make sure that they get what we call an energy efficiency performance test report. This performance test report should be gotten from a third-party accredited laboratory. So the manufacturer will produce the product. He will take it to the lab for it to be tested according to the regulation. And the regulation has the do's and don'ts, and the technical specifications.
Great.
Now, once you have this report, you will bring it to the Energy Commission, and our mandate is to advise you as an importer that this product you are going to bring will meet the standard, or this product will not meet the standard. And we are advising Ghanaian importers to take advantage of this, because you see, as a businessman, you just have your money. You don't know the technical specification of the product they are going to give you. So you might be shortchanged if you just go ahead to buy this product without getting the advice from the regulator. So we advise that they come to us with this performance report, and we have a designated email, which sometimes, for those who are far out of Accra, don't need to come here in person. They can send those reports, we will review it, and then advise that it meets the standard. Once it meets the standard, we have created an online portal for application. You will apply to the portal. The Energy Commission will review the test reports based on the regulation. Now, something that Ghanaians need to understand is about the star rating. How do you even get the star rating? Because we are told that, oh, come on, just the star rating don't mean anything. Just get up and go to Energy Commission, get some brown envelope, and then you'll be given 5 stars. I would want to take your platform as an opportunity to explain that it doesn't work that way. The performance test report is like an examination. And there is a marking scheme, which is the star rating. So depending on the performance of your product, we compare that performance to the rating tables that has been issued by the various regulations. So it's like if you score a 45 in an examination, they say it's an F. If you score 70 and above, it's an A. There is no way you score 45 with your examination sheet and yet you'll be given an A. So that is the same concept that works with the star rating. Based on the performance of your product, we will evaluate. We will do the calculations per the law. And these calculations are all in the LIs that have been provided. Once we do the calculation, the energy efficiency index that we get, which is the measurement metrics, is compared to the star rating table. To say that this results we have gotten corresponds to 1 star. This results we have gotten corresponds to 2 stars. In that manner, up to 7 stars. And the star rating works like the hotel system. The more the stars, the more efficient the product is. So what it means is that we hear people saying that 1 star is worse. Please, for clarity, 1 star means that it meets the minimum energy performance. It means that it is allowed to be used in the country Ghana. And so it is good for consumers to acquire. However, the more the stars, the more efficient the product is. And we use the hotel analogy. If I went to a 1-star hotel, and then you went to a 5-star hotel, I don't think we'll pay the same amount.
No, not at all.
But in the morning when I wake up, maybe I'll be getting 1 Lipton and 1 boiled egg for breakfast. And then you would end up getting, a buffet or English breakfast. So that's the same concept. 1 star means that it meets the standard. However, a 2-star will consume less than a 1-star. A 3-star will consume less than a 2-star. A 4-star will consume less than a 3-star. So in that order, as you go up the hierarchy. So having all of this in mind, we will issue the star rating and then the label design to the importer to send that to the manufacturer. So the labeling is done in the country of production after they have gotten the approval from us.
So it's not done here in Ghana?
Not at all. Not at all. So the labeling must be done in the country of origin before the products arrive in the country. Because you see, when you buy it and you even open the carton, the labels are there. So the idea is that because they are doing the production, it is easier for them to do that mass production and still label the products. However, there is an option to also label locally. But that means that your product would have come not complying with the regulation. And that is where the product will be cleared under detention, an enforcement fee will be paid, and then you have the chance to label it locally before it is allowed to go into the market. So that is how the procedure is. Importer coming to us, we giving the rating, given the label design and the star rating, that is transferred to the manufacturer.
Yes.
Manufacturer makes sure that they label the product before the shipment is done into Ghana. And once it comes into the country, we have our men at the port who are to assist customs and Ghana Standards Authority identify the efficiency levels, because people have been found to be faking these labels.
Yes.
So maybe at the right time we will talk about some of the measures we have put in place for consumers to identify fake labels, accurate labels, and then also make an informed decision.
That's very well noted. So we move on with the next question, which is, we see the yellow label, but honestly, I sitting here cannot even read. Not as in the inscriptions, but I cannot read to understand and make a decision as to whether the appliance I'm going in for is good or it meets the requirements, even though I could see the stars. But can you walk us through the features on the yellow label on an appliance?
Right. So if you look at the picture that is showing, what we advise is that you will see two different labels. One, and there are some major differences between these two labels that you are seeing probably on the screen.
Okay.
One of them is showing a star rating up to 5 stars. The other is showing up to 7 stars. In one of the labels, you don't see a QR code. In the new one, you are seeing a QR code. So what it means is that you have the old labels and then the new label. I mentioned earlier that we passed the law way back in 2009. So some products will still come with the old label, or they would have old stock with the old label, whilst we have the new labels. Now, the features to pay attention to are the star ratings. And that is why I explained that it works like the hotel system. The more the stars, the more efficient the product is. Which means that once you have a minimum 1 star, it is allowed to be used in the country, which is acceptable.
Yes.
But the more stars you earn, then probably the higher the price, like the hotel analysis we made. But then you would also save on your consumption. Now, the label also gives you a certain number. So the black stars you see also has a number below it, which shows 4 in this example. So the number of stars showing must correspond with the number indicated in the black star. Subsequently, we have found out that people have started using markers to shade the black stars, but then they forget that the numbers there must correspond with what is in the box.
Yes.
So you see that people are trying to mislead or to deceive the public to ask for higher ratings for their product.
Yes.
So you must make sure that the star ratings in the box corresponds with the number.
Okay.
You would also see what we call the annual consumption. So based on the technical specification, we made sure that we were able to calculate the 24-hour consumption of these products, or let's say fridges, for example.
Yes.
And then this 24-hour consumption is multiplied by 365 days in the year, to get the annual consumption.
Yes.
So you are able to look at that label and tell yourself that, oh, okay, this one I am seeing, I will consume 300 kilowatt hours in a year if I purchase it. This same model, if I look at it, I might consume this number of kilowatt hours.
Yeah.
So there are information that is supposed to help the consumer make an informed decision. We also have the volumes. In the case of a refrigerator label, you would see the volume: fresh food compartment, frozen food compartment. This tells you the size of the fridge or the freezer you are going to buy. In the case of freezer, you would always see frozen food volume, which tells you in liters the size of this product. Now, in order to make things easy, we decided to introduce what we call the GH Certified Appliance app, which is available on Google Play Store or iOS.
Okay.
Your listeners can download this app to help them make an informed decision.
Great.
Because once you download the app, you can input the model number on the label you see,
Okay.
And the app will tell you how much you will pay for your bills,
Oh,
bearing
great.
in mind the kilowatt hours that you are seeing on the product.
Mm.
So you can easily compare whilst you are in the showroom. This fridge, putting in their model numbers, the app will tell you how much you will consume in terms of your bills,
Great.
paying of bills on each of these products.
Mm.
Then we also introduced the QR code, which I mentioned, because in the age of Photoshop, people are interested. They keep on designing their own labels and all of that.
Yes.
However, we tied a QR code to the registration process.
Okay.
So when you register your product with us, we keep a database of the registered models.
Okay.
And out of that register, we generate a QR code which is unique to you, the importer, and your model.
Great.
So you can design a label with Photoshop, but you cannot get access to the Energy Commission database to generate the QR code because you have not registered the product. So these are the features that you will now see. And bear in mind that you will have the old label and the new label going side by side.
Yes.
And as I said, there are measures in place that consumers would be able to use to verify these labels.
Great.
So pay attention to the label. The more the stars, the more efficient the product is.
Great.
1 star means it meets the minimum energy performance, and so it is allowed to be used in the country.
Yes.
It does not mean it is worse.
Yes.
And what we say is that it is better than a second-hand obsolete appliance which does not have the labeling or the performance of the product.
Great. Now, in our bid to cut inefficient appliances coming into the market, means that we are conserving energy. So, briefly, can you tell us what energy conservation is?
Right. Okay. So, in all of this, we have spoken about energy efficiency.
Yes.
But then we also forget about what we call energy conservation.
Great.
And energy efficiency looks at the technicality with performance. Energy conservation talks about our behavioral practices.
Great.
So you can buy the most efficient product, but how you use it will determine whether indeed it is efficient or not.
Great.
So I would like to cite a few examples. You know, you hear somebody says that, and I would use the account language. Medium afraid the boy with the social block, 5 minutes na block.
Yes.
So you open that fridge and you see the example I will show you. You open that fridge and all you see is ice buildup.
Yes.
Ice buildup does not mean your fridge is working. What it means is that you are paying so much bills because you need to consume so much power to be able to, you know, maintain that ice in there. So anytime you see an ice buildup, what we advise is that you put off your fridge to defrost it.
Great.
And then you clean the fridge. And then you can check the door or the seal.
Great.
What we call the gasket. It means that there might probably be a leakage in there that is allowing air into your fridge and so causing this ice buildup.
Great.
So you can do a simple practice by putting a plain paper in the door, close it, and then try to slide the plain sheet and see if it will move freely.
Great.
If it does, then it means there's a leakage on your gasket, which is the door of the fridge. It could also be as a result of leakage from the refrigerant. So that is important to be looked at. We have had situations where somebody has a problem with that. He takes it to the workshop and then they go and change the compressor and then they put another fan or a motor behind it. I don't know the logic behind that. That the fan is supposed to blow fresh air on the motor. So all of these are extra consumptions that you are adding to it. And so the practice is that make sure that you don't put hot food in your fridge. Once you take out cold products from the freezer, let's say your soup, you don't immediately put it into your microwave to thaw or defrost. Make sure it does that naturally, and then you can put it into. Make sure that your microwave is not consuming so much. In terms of air conditioners, I would also say that we need to make sure that we are using air conditioners and then practicing the what we call the 24 ambient temperature. When we enter our offices, we put it at 16 degrees. And the logic is that you want your office to chill within the shortest possible time. Unfortunately, In Ghana, in our ambient, there is no way you can achieve 16 degrees in your room. So what you are telling the air condition is that it needs to consume so much power to maintain that 16 degrees you are seeing temperature on the temperature. So 24 hours, 24 degrees ambient temperature is ideal to be used for air conditioners. And then you make sure that you have enough curtains in your office or your home. That will make sure that you are also sealing the kind of temperatures and maintaining your room temperature and not allowing air to come in. In offices, you realize that somebody has opened the door, the window is open, and yet the air condition is at 16. It could be a 5-star air condition, but it will not perform as a 5-star because the practice you are using is not helping. When we look at one or two things in addition, television. For some of us who like football, we want to hear the sound of the ball being kicked whilst watching football. I could say, I didn't know. Did you know that the louder the sound of your television, the more you consume?
The more you consume. Oh, I didn't know this as well.
So that is something for your viewers and listeners.
Great.
Because this television has sound in there, and the sound in decibel needs to produce, it needs electricity to be able to produce power. So basically, the higher the volume, the more the TV consumes. And another thing that we didn't pay attention to is the bigger the size of your television, the more you consume.
Oh, really?
So for those of us who want to have 75-inch, 85, 90 inch, we should be prepared for, to pay some higher bills. Because, the wattage of these televisions are quite high. And even the quality or resolution of the televisions, OLED, LED televisions, consume, lesser. But because of the size of the television, of the wattage or the power input will be higher. So these are some of the things that we are talking about. And for television, I think I would want your viewers to also pay attention. Sometimes you are watching a television and then some numbers come on your screen that press your remote. Otherwise, in the next seconds, the TV will go off. When we see this, what do? We intentionally press the remote. Just to show we are there. But sometimes you'll be watching news at 10 p.m. and you start dozing off. So the television you are supposed to be watching ends up watching you throughout the night. And that is the purpose for having this standby mode or these functions in the television. Help with the conservation practice. Because we human beings sometimes get forgetful in doing these things. So they have come up with technology to be able to make sure that these things are resolved so that even when you forget to do that, then the technology can come in. And that's why you have the key card, you have the occupancy sensor, you have all kinds of technological tools that can help us conserve this energy in our home. The last one is iron. Ironing, we advise that we iron in bulk because iron is a heating device. And like I said, practice. You can have the most efficient iron, but if you are ironing and watching Kukum Bajia for the ladies, I think you spend so much time ironing than even the limited time you're supposed to.
That is correct.
So we advise that you pay attention when you are ironing, and then you iron in bulk so that you can use the heat that has been generated to do multiple ironing. And I think this, our consumers should be able to have energy efficient products, but even when they buy the products, they must make sure that their practices is also very efficient so that we can have energy conservation.
This is a very interesting topic. Like I mentioned earlier, it sits at the heart of Ghanaians in energy reliability, household costs, and so on. Right. So wrapping up, can you give us bits of energy efficiency tips worth considering? Just to wrap up.
Yeah, so I think for the women, they should just remember that your cooling device, which is the fridge you buy, make sure it's not too close to your gas cooker or your stove. Because your gas cooker or stove is producing heat. The fridge is the cooling device. It's supposed to cool items. So when you put it so close, you would realize that the fridge will have to draw so much electricity
Energy.
to be able to chill the products that are in there.
Yes.
You know. So energy efficiency is key to Ghanaian households.
Yes.
And for us as a regulator, we believe that it is not always about building power plants,
Great.
spending so much money to generate electricity,
Mm.
and yet have wastage in the system.
Great.
Demand side management has come to stay. Demand side management has proven that we can conserve and save even on what we have produced.
Yes.
And so that's what we need to focus on in addition to what we are generating so that we don't have a lot of wastages in the system.
Mm.
And I believe the Energy Commission will continue its mandate, make sure that incentive programs are being introduced. We are able to, do rebate schemes to help Ghanaian consumers acquire energy efficient products and then place some of these households who have obsolete products in their homes. And then at the end of the day, the bigger picture is what we need to look at.
Great.
How much am I paying? How much am I saving? What is going to be left in my pocket so that I can also spend that on other household requirements and probably take care of my kids while they are in school and do other responsibilities that come with it.
Great.
For government, when we make these savings, we can also channel the savings into other infrastructure development. Instead of more power plants, we can use the savings to perhaps look at social amenities, roads, infrastructure, and all of that.
Great.
And Energy Commission rebates by replacing LED CFLs with incandescent and saving over 124 megawatts is a clear example of that achievement, and that is doable. So the Energy Commission will keep on pushing this, and we hope that this will bear with us. We don't intend to spoil anybody's business. We only want the right product to come. And we believe that the Ghanaian consumer also deserves durable, efficient product and not always second-hand products into the market.
Great. Thank you so much, Hubert.
Thank you, Akwes.
Yes, I also have to let my audience to know that a big share of electricity demand in Ghana comes from the household. And these demands are driven by appliances like television, fridges, air conditioners, etc. I mean, these appliances will push peak load to a certain level. I mean, if there is no extra generator coming online, it means that we are going to have power cuts. So it is great and it's going to help us. I mean, it's good that we know how to conserve energy whilst we use the best of appliances on the market. So we thank you very much, Hubert, for this wonderful discussion. We will come your way again. Give us a date. I mean, we always have to come to you for such insightful discussions. I've been your host, Akwesi Enin. Thank you very much for staying with us, and we will come to you again.